Believe that you don't know everything about your goals and must learn more. Even if you've done extensive research about your goal, please understand that you cannot know everything. There will always be a blind spot. There will always be room for improvement. Most people are able to handle this, but the problem is the older you get, the more you assume. It's very easy to think that you know everything about your goals, so you assume that you've got it figured out. You admit that you don't fully see the whole picture, but you assume that if you see enough of the pieces of the puzzle that you'll be okay. This is a problem because assumptions short-circuit and undermine learning. You're not looking at your problem set with a fully open mind. Instead, you think that if you see certain patterns, you will just use solutions that you did in the past because this is familiar enough to you. You can't do that. Assume a growth mindset. When you assume a growth mindset, you know that you begin from the initial proposition that you don't know everything. You may have done this at some level before, but you haven't done this exact project before. When you assume that there are limitations to your knowledge, you are more likely to grow. You're more likely to ask for help. You're more likely to access resources to give you the information you need to make progress. How does this work? When you operate with a growth mindset, you first focus on your core competency. We're not jacks of all trades. We all have certain core competencies. Find yours. Once you've identified these, work outward from it. Here's how I do it. I look at my goal and I break it down based on my core competency. I list down the things that I know like the back of my hand, and then everything else. These are called non-core elements. What do you do with these? You can delegate, outsource, postpone, ignore, or forget them. It all depends on how important they are, what their effects are on your ultimate goal, and how pressing they are. Regardless if they fall outside of your core competency, do not hesitate to delegate, outsource, postpone, ignore, or forget. By doing so, you increase your mastery over your project. You focus on what's important and you leave less important stuff to the hands of experienced specialists, people you work with, people you respect, or you just postpone, ignore, or forget. This leads you to become a more effective goal manager. Believe and act like there is always a way through any problem. People are overcome by problems not because they are dumb or unlucky. This is not a simple matter of IQ. Most of the time, they're just not prepared. They did not have a system coming in. It comes as no surprise that when the unexpected happens or a setback appears, they have a tough time. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to know exactly what will happen in the future. This doesn't mean that you have to look at your goal and anticipate each and every potential setback in minute detail. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go that far. Instead, you just need to employ the following system. Identify. The first thing that you need to do when you come across a problem or setback is to identify the opportunity in that situation. Oftentimes, opportunities come disguised as challenges. So ask yourself, where's the opportunity in this situation? What can I learn from this situation? How can this situation make me better? Use the fact that there's an opportunity there, regardless of how small, as motivation or inspiration to come up with the solution. If anything, it's a learning experience. It's yet another opportunity to solve a problem and come out on top instead of letting it defeat you or frustrate you. Optimize. Now that you have come up with a solution, try it out again and again. See if you can make it more efficient. Figure out ways to get faster results. Look into making it more comprehensive. Run test after test. Come up with the very best solution you can come up with for your particular situation. Dominate. Once you've optimized your solution, master the problem. Not just right here, right now, but into the future. Do you see your solution applying to different types of challenges? Do you see it leading to more solutions in the future? Whatever the case may be, crush the problem. Don't just feel relief that you dodged the bullet this time. You have to stare the challenge right in the eyes and dominate. This is not just a simple matter of coming up with a hack or a quick solution. No, you're looking to dominate the problem. Scale up. Now that you've dominated the problem by using an optimized solution, use it extensively. Try to use it as often as possible or come up with a bigger version of this solution. For example, if you've always had a tough time meeting deadlines, you can optimize the solution that helps you meet deadlines. You then dominate the situation by setting up a system where your on-time delivery always produces the very best quality. You can then apply this solution to other areas of your life, like your relationship. This means that you're never late for a date. or you never forget anniversaries or other important events. Know when to cut your losses. While learning how to identify, optimize, dominate, and scale are important, there are certain problems that are just insurmountable. If that's your situation, know when to cut your losses. You hit a wall, and it's impossible, at least at this point in time, so cut your losses and backtrack.